I want to point out in particular, there's been a lot of discussion about police officers and police forces, and defunding the police and abolishing the police has become a new political cause célèbre. I would like to point this committee to an article that came out just this month, June of 2020. It is entitled "Policing the Police: The Impact of Pattern or Practice Investigations on Crime." They examined all of the police departments in which pattern or practice investigations had been launched, and they found a real difference for those investigations where there was not what they called a viral incidence of violence on a civilian. They found that did not increase crime, but here's what they found. All of the investigations that were preceded by viral incidents of deadly force have led to a large and statistically significant increase in homicide and total crimes, and here's their estimate in particular. We estimate that these investigations caused almost 900 excess homicides and almost 34,000 excess felonies. So if the members of this committee agree that Black Lives Matter, demonizing the police, causing them to pull back from protecting people's lives, will predictably cause more black lives to be taken.
Thanks, Senator Cruz. Senator Coons.
Is the senator asking, allowing for responses to that statement?
No. Senator Cruz.
Ms. Gupta, I have a question for you about the study that Senator Cruz, where he suggested that basically pattern and practice investigations result in bad outcomes.
So, Senator Harris, thank you. The study in question, the methodology has been challenged, and there's been far more studies. Just recently in May of 2020, Richard Rosenfeld and Joel Wallman did an extensive study studying whether depolicing resulted in consent decrees or in scrutiny of police practices, and found actually that is absolutely not the case. There have been a number of evaluations from the Vera Institute for Justice, the Harvard Kennedy School, that have evaluated the LA consent decree, the Pittsburgh, Cincinnati consent decrees, the Metropolitan Police Department here in Washington, D.C., that was done by the former Inspector General Michael Bromwich, an innumerable body of evidence that I would like to submit into the record that show the kind of ongoing effectiveness. They aren't perfect. They don't result in perfect police departments. But the fact of the matter is that they are rigorous. They have metrics. Federal judges rely on these metrics. That's how they evaluate whether a department is able to move out of a consent decree. And so I think it's really important to actually have the data to back up the evidence behind some of the policy reforms that I know folks are pushing for, members of Congress are pushing for right now.
Thank you. And
Senator Harris, would you mind if I added to the methodology portions of this? Because I think it's important to get the science on this right.
As long as we have leave from the chairman, because we are now
absolutely
over time, and I want to make sure we also get to
very briefly.
Yes.
And the ranking agrees as well.
Yeah, go.
Yes,
just very, very, very briefly. No, absolutely. Very, very briefly. The vast majority of the cases of consent decrees that are included in the most recent study that Senator Cruz introduced show that things get better after a consent decree. The question is about after so-called viral incidents. There's a selection bias issue there. The places that have viral incidents also had great mistrust of law enforcement. So it's actually not scientifically a great idea to select just those cities and try and make causal claims about the influence of the consent decree, as opposed to the lack of trust that was there beforehand. I'll stop there, and with the rest of the research literature that Ms. Gupta will introduce, you'll have plenty of information to make good decisions on.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.